his foundation in terms of what he would eventually do on his own. When we,
Definitely. Most
yeah,
definitely.
yeah, we talk
Another
about
great
his.
producer himself too. Another great
Yes, sir.
producer.
But look who his uncle is, really Hutch. you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
you know what I mean? Like you can't miss really.
Yeah. So as the Chronic begins to blow, obviously from Shot Records in 1991, they will morph into what it is with Death Row. With Suge Knight and what he, has done, from the NWA tree, getting Dre ultimately out his contract, and then this young, lanky, tall nigga from Long Beach who's made his
Yeah.
debut on deep cover, y'all know him as Snoop Dogg, him coming
Right.
in. Did you all know the impact of what was about to be a seismic shift, a absolute earth-shattering change in the direction of hip-hop music and culture and influence, and how it would resonate even to this day over 30 years later?
Yeah, I don't know if I don't know if my brain, I was green. My brain wasn't big enough to see that kind of picture. But I did know once I finally me and Dre clicked, I ended up taking the spot of Emmanuel Dean. He's passed too. Emmanuel Dean was the keyboard player on What's My Name and Gin and Juice. He did those first two records, and then
Mm-hmm.
I did everything else after that. But it was like at that point when the first time I heard 187 on a undercover cop, I was sitting in the studio and I was like, now I ain't never really heard like this is a great mix of a lot of fucking hip hop styles. And I'm
Right.
like, and I thought fucking Snoop's voice was ridiculous because he sounded like nobody. Nobody sounded that relaxed and was spitting that kind of shit he was spitting. I was like, man, we got the makers of some shit, but I was so young and so green and stupid. But yeah, I never saw as far as past as, we're gonna make this record and then we gotta make it, we gotta think what's coming next and what's coming next. I never thought 30 years later we'd still be talking about those same records. It's unbelievable.
When we think about it, Barney, back in 1992, I'm 47, so obviously I was 15 years old in that
Right.
summer, 1992, when we first heard it. And this this is how we have to kind of give our younger audience context in terms of what was happening at that time. The
Right.
Source magazine, shout out to them,
Source,
was
yeah.
was 4 years in. Shout out to John Schechter and of course Dave Mays who started it. Shout out to Word Up magazine with John Blassingame,
Yeah.
the first black, who basically pioneered the first black publication dedicated
That's
to hip
right.
hop music and soul.
That's
Good
right.
friend of ours. Shout out to John. Um, so when we hear this coming in, we're listening and we're like,
Uh-oh, we lose him? Might be gone, huh? Rio, can you hear me?
Yeah, I lost a little connection right here.
Oh, there we go.
I'm back.
There he
I'm
is.
gonna back on. Yeah, I'm gonna bring T right back on.
Okay.
But yeah, man, building on what you doing, man. Tell us about the audience reception to the country single so far that we played.
Man, I've done two shows